What's going on, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius? Today is another news day on Tuesday. Today is February 23rd, 2021. We've got a whole lot of news. I'm going to try to get this into a digestible format. There's a lot of news today. Alright, we've got Lightning returns. Lightning coming at us. Neo Vision Lightning, along with Awakenings for Radiant Lightning and OG Lightning. What is that, like a 4-year-old unit? We're getting a Neo Vision, like, she has been through every era. The only unit that just keeps going, like, everlasting, like, just keeps getting, like, up to the next tier. Whenever we get the next one, she's gonna go there too. It's incredible. Alright. So, we have Neo Vision, Savior of Souls Lightning. We have Radiant Lightning and Lightning. Okay, so I'm gonna jump right in. The panels are basically, you know, the same that we've been getting. But we've got an Omniprism on the basic panel now, which is kind of nice. Okay, so Savior of Souls Lightning, in her base form, she's a physical attacker with a little bit of support, but in her Brave Shift form, she is a mage with a little bit of debuff. What makes her really interesting is that she gets a lot of passives from having shields equipped. So we'll get into that as we look at her kit. She's got her vision card. She's got a Brave Shift duration, which is for infinite turns. It is a 1-turn cooldown and is available from turn 1. So you can just go back and forth as often as you like. Just Her Super Trust Mastery is incredible. It is Indestructible Light. It boosts damage limit for various chains by 100%. It can go up to 200%, so units already have their chain damage increased to 200% via abilities like Dual Blade Mastery will not be affected further from this ability. So you equip this to any unit that does not have the 200% chain cap boost, and they're just going to do that much more damage whenever they cap at the end of a chain. This is an incredible STMR. It makes any unit that you have a finisher just do that much more damage. If they, you know, if they're capped out on killers, if they're capped out on everything else, boom, there you go. That's it. Slide that right in there. Perfect damage. All right. Then we've got her Trust Mastery, her regular Trust Mastery, which is a shield. Night Lotus, attack 50, defense 140. Magic 50, Spirit 95. Is this a Trust Mastery or an STMR? I mean, really. It has increased equipment attack 50% when single wielding a weapon with or without a shield. Okay, but it is a shield, so right. And increase equipment magic 50% when equipped with or without a shield. Okay, so it's equipment attack, but it works if you're wielding a shield in the other hand. Beforehand, it wouldn't work if you were equipped with a shield. But now we have to where a unit can like have a shield in one hand and a one-handed weapon in the other, and still be counted towards TDH. So they can actually have something in both hands, as opposed to having one hand completely empty, and the other hand has to be like a sword or whatever. Now we can have a defensive stat and an offensive stat, and that's an incredible buff. Not only to gameplay, but like survivability, it's everything. So this comes with Lightning, Lightning's banner. We'll go over the vision card in a minute. Her featured standard abilities, we're just going to go over what's featured, which is Spark Boost. Spark Boost is Restore MP. She adds Lightning Element to all allies. She increases the Lightning physical damage to all allies, and Lightning magic damage to all allies for 5 turns for 15%. Her ATB charge is increase attack magic by 300% for 6 turns to herself, fill her LB gauge basically, and increase LB damage by 150% to herself. Pretty good, you know. She's a Bolting Strike and Absolute Mirror of Equity Chainer. She has mitigate damage 75% in that, and 120% imperil for the enemy. She can give herself fire, ice, lightning, and wind resistance by 90%. She's like, she can do so many different things in her regular form. She has dual cast white magic, okay, so and her passives in in the regular form would be increase equipment attack 200% and increase equipment defense 200% when equipped with a shield. And then she has increased chain modifier cap by 100%. So she is just gonna do that damage. She has demon and fairy killer for physical and magical, and she really likes doing her LB. She has passive provoke by 50%, so you can use her as a provoke tank. And she has more damage against broken enemies. And she has guts. Like, she's got it all. Like, she's not only a provoke tank, but she's also a DPS, which is really nice. She's got 50% passive evasion, which is great. You want that in a provoke tank. And then her limit burst would be lightning damage, and increase lightning damage for herself by 30%. And then 2 stacks of Mirage for the whole party. So that's incredible. Not only does it do a lot of damage and increase her damage further, but it also gives that 2 stacks of Mirage, which can make her an incredible unit for specific trials that allow her to be able to use the lightning damage. When she shifts over to her Brave Shift form, I'm spending extra time on her because she's really the meat and potatoes of this whole week. Okay, so in her Brave Shift form, the unique stuff that she has is she has her Quake Lightning Returns. This would be an AoE bolting strike move that has a 180 multiplier. So it is a huge damaging hit, and it is not element bound, which is nice, but also bad because, you know, no imperil. Because it's not like magic based on like attack or anything like that. So it does 180 damage, but it doesn't have an element attached to it, so you can't take advantage of imperils. She has 85% breaks for magic and spirit. She has a single target break for 85% for all break. And then she can do break damage when equipped with a rod by 500%. So if you're trying to break a break gauge down and they're weak to rods, she can just smack it open, which is great. She can do little bits of imperils, you know, just a little bit. She again has that attack magic increase. She has magic evasion 30%, which is kind of cool. She has increased equipment magic and equipment spirit when equipped with a shield, as opposed to the attack and defense that her regular form had. She has the killers for demons and fairies again, and she does do the increased damage against broken enemies and the increased chance of being targeted, but she doesn't have any physical evasion. Her limit burst in her Brave Shift form would be fire, ice, lightning, and wind magic damage. So it is element, but it is 4 elements at once, but it has ignore spirit to one enemy. So maybe if you use like Kryla and Imperil for all the elements, you know? She does decrease spirit by 90%. So she does do an a break after that for 90% spirit break, which is that's pretty high. And then afterwards, she adds fire, ice, lightning, and wind element to herself. So she quad imbues herself. Really interesting unit. All right, so guys, you can take a look at her. I'm sorry I spent so much time on her, but she is really she brings a whole lot to the table. She's like a new kind of unit. So I tried to go over her as much as I could. All right, then we have Radiant Lightning. Radiant Lightning, looking awesome in her Brave Shift form, honestly. She just goes to a pure mage. Infinite duration, 1 turn cooldown available from turn 1. We know what her TMR and STMR are. I'm just going to go over the featured standard abilities and featured Brave Shift abilities for Radiant Lightning. Her featured standard abilities are Spark Assault. Alright. Spark Assault does 110 lightning physical damage, 110x multiplier, that's pretty high, and it's on Absolute Mirror of Equity chain, so you can use that at the end and finish off pretty nicely if they're weak to lightning in some way. And then Buster Impulse. Buster Impulse does Absolute Mirror of Equity chaining, and it is a 72x multiplier, which is kind of nice. But it also imperils lightning resistance and increases LB gauge by 5. That's actually the Bolting Strike chaining move. I'm sorry. That's the Bolting Strike one. And it's only a 70x multiplier. And she, of course, keeps all of her regular skills. She also now gets Machine Killer and increased LB damage. And her new LB would be just a little bit more damage, but it's not a whole lot to, write home about. Her Brave Shift form. Let's go back up at the top. Her Brave Shift form is going to be... man, she's got a lot to talk about. This is a huge week. Alright. Her Brave Shift abilities are Energized. Energized is increase magic by 300% and enable quad cast. So that's pretty cool. Or Tetra Unison? Is that quad cast? Yeah, it's quad cast. Okay. And then Claire's Saber. Claire's Saber would be the 110 lightning damage, but it's magic now, and increase LB damage by 100% for 3 turns to caster. She has Bolting Strike chaining move that just powers up to an 86 multiplier. That also powers up her LB gauge whenever she uses it. And she has increased lightning resistance 200% for herself, which is huge. A 200% lightning resistance buff. I could definitely getting some use in some trials, honestly. Steal that with Zon, distribute it to the whole party. You don't even have to gear for lightning resistance at that point. She has 150% Machine Killer. She has just incredible Brave Shift skills. They really love lightning, honestly. All 3 lightnings are kind of fun in their own way. And 130% lightning imperil with lightning magic damage, 115 multiplier on her limit burst Brave Shift. All right. The original lightning. Whew. Okay, original lightning. Original lightning has she goes from a physical attacker to a physical attacker. Her Brave Shift is infinite durations, 1 turn cooldown, available from turn 1. We still got Aurora Scarf with 3 defense. Are you kidding me? Can we get an update on that? Alright. So her featured standard abilities. Featured standard abilities for her are boost attack by 600 LB damage and damage of certain abilities. So what that does is that just brings all of her stats up to modern era. All of her stats and abilities up to sort of the modern era, which is, actually makes her usable, and it gives her triple cast. She also gets 100% Machine Killer, and her LB becomes a 74% break-ish. Okay. But what really makes her kind of good is her Brave Shift. Her Brave Shift has gun target, 35% gun in peril. Alright? It is a 250% buff for attack for all allies. Wish it was 300. But a 35% imperil for guns. That is amazing. Okay, and then her Rusty Engine is mitigate damage taken against machines by 30% to all allies, and increases damage against machines by 100%. And it also gives a 100% LB buff, but you'd probably want a little bit higher than that. She has passive Machine Killer, 200% actually, passive physical Machine Killer. She has passive evasion, and her limit burst imbues lightning to everybody and increases lightning damage by 25% for physical and magical. So she gives an AoE lightning damage buff and AoE imbue. Okay. Whew. Man, and that's just the units. Okay, we're going to go over... then we have Song of Savior. Song of Savior is the event coming at us this week. We've got Lumia. Lumia is a free unit you can get from this event. Lumia's STMR is... it's actually really... So she's a free unit that you get from just doing this event. Her STMR is totally worth getting. This is fill LB gauge by 8 every turn. So at the end of every turn, it fills the LB gauge by 8. That is massive. I love that. That's basically Call to the Wild, but it's activating every turn. I want to equip it on everybody. But it also has Dark Resistance by 50%, Defense 42, and Spirit of 48. Her Trust Mastery. Her Trust Mastery is 25% physical evasion. 25% physical evasion is, you know, it's usable. If you've never picked up any of the physical evasion stuff before on any of the time limited stuff, this is definitely worth picking up right now. Then we have her featured abilities. Her featured abilities for Lumia, she has a 1-turn, 10-turn cooldown, cover, a decrease spirit by 100% to an ally, and increase her attack magic by 300%. And then fixed damage 8,000 to all allies, and increase LB damage by 180% or 150% to all allies, and increase LB gauge to all allies. I don't know, just use Yoshikiri. So she has passive charm resistance and 100% chance of not being targeted, which doesn't really work anyways. But what's really kind of cool about her, and I could maybe probably abuse a little bit, is that she absorbs light damage. So if she takes light damage, she heals off of it. So you might be able to use her in some pretty interesting builds whenever the enemy is doing light damage, and actually make use of that heal from light damage ability that she has. Okay. And her limit burst is... It's an attack magic buff, and it fills the LB gauge and imperils your team for spirit. Alright, so honestly, she's a weird unit. Other than the healing off of light damage, which, you know, Veritas Light already did. But, okay, so we have Crimson Blitz. Crimson Blitz is a regular sword with 151 attack, and boost equipment, attack, and defense when a single weapon is equipped in one or both hands. So it's TDH for attack and defense, and it's 151 attack. I'm excited to see how much equipment attack that is. Devil's Daughter is a 78 attack, 137 magic. Okay. Katana. Magic Katana. Interesting. I know only a few last wells that would like that. And it boosts equipment, magic, and spirit when in TDH. Okay. And then we have Lightning Shades. Lightning Shades is a accessory with attack magic 37 and boost attack by 20% when equipped with sword, and boost magic by 20% when equipped with the katana. So this looks like a King Mog event? Is that right? Looks like a King Mog event. It's an event dungeon. Is it an exploration? It is a King Mog event. Okay, good. King Mog event. Alright, okay, and then we've got Snow Villagers. You know, you clear it every day. And you're going to get the rewards from that to be able to craft everything that you need. This week we've got the Challenge of the Brave, the Triple Lightning Challenge of the Brave coming at you, and then, you know, the Heroes of the Lapis Rebellion, Transcendent Heroes, and that's all that's coming at you for the reruns. Got your unit intro quest, get Lightning, see how her limit burst works. Done. Her vision card, Lightning's vision card, has attack magic 80, flat stat. Okay, her attack magic 80 as her flat stat. And then it increases attack and magic by 50% when equipped with a shield, and then an additional 50%. That's its level 4 and level 7 abilities. And then it increases equipment attack by an additional 50% when it's equipped with a Final Fantasy 13 unit, or Final Fantasy 13-2, or Lightning Rebound, or whatever. Reborn, or whatever. Lightning Returns, there we go. Shows you how much you played 13. And then we've got one last battle. So this is really like, for a 13 unit, this is so much equipment attack and magic. Like, it's great. One last battle, but it's probably just for Lightning. Like, there might be other units that can use it, but then we've got one last battle coming at you again. You know, it's that fire and ice resistance. We got it a few weeks previous. I'm gonna guess this is probably gonna make it into the permanent pool later. All right. We've got Dark Visions. Dark Visions coming back at you. We can get number 1. Everybody can go for number 1 again. Good luck to y'all. I hope you can get it. Just climb, get your number 1 ranking, tear your hair out, you know. We've got the 3rd season, Chapter 7, Part 1. So the story will continue. Boom. Find out what Fina's doing with the Sailor Scout Squad. Then we've got another unit. We've got Untamed Wolf Edel. Untamed Wolf Edel was a free unit that we've gotten once before. But what's going to happen is, once we get this additional Untamed Wolf Edel, we'll be able to Neo-Vision Awakener. So this is going to be given out to everybody. So I'm excited to see if I can get 2 Neo-Visioned Awakened Untamed Wolf Edels. That would be kind of fun. So you'll get these just as like login rewards to get Untamed Wolf Edel and be able to Neo-Vision Awakener. And be able to do her quests to get her shards. Untamed Wolf Edel is really cool for her Brave Shift form. Her Brave Shift form has evoke damage, wind evoke damage, so she's kind of like a free Terra. Like, if you don't have Terra, if you don't have Infernal Fire Rain, if you don't have Draconian Princess Fina, this is like a free version of those. She does slightly more damage than Infernal Fire Rain, a little bit less than Draconian Princess Fina, at least on the JP server. So she's really good for a free unit for that Evo damage. She's Bolting Strike Chaining, and she is wind locked. So where you have Rain for Rain and Terra for fire, Light for Draconian Princess Fina. Well, now we've got a wind Evo damage unit. And then her regular form is just gonna have like some passives, which is like it just increases her base stats and increases her LB, which is, yeah, you're really brave shifting her. She becomes like, you know, the rest of them, where you brave shift her over, they do the Evo damage. Her brave shift is available from turn 1 and it lasts 3 turns. Okay, all right. Whew. Then we've got miscellaneous updates. Light shield and heavy shield revamp. Basically, they're making all the shields better. They're buffing the stats on them. Ones that didn't get spirit before now might get spirit. Ones that had like 10 defense on them now might get like 80. So they're buffing all the shields. We're gonna get a new player rank. The maximum rank a player can be increased from 250 to 300. You know, push for that higher ranking, guys. And the friend limit cap will be increased from 30 to 40, so we can now have more friends. Yay! More friends that we can't find on the friends list. All right. Additional Final Fantasy 13 ability updates. Now, what this is so a lot of the Final Fantasy 13 units have different abilities that are shared between them, like Thunderfall, Defender, and Attacker. And rather than fix them on each unit, they're just fixing them between like all the shared units. So previously Attacker had like boost attack and magic by 10%. Now it boosts MP, attack, magic by 50%. Defender now does Boosts defense and spirit by 10%. Now it boosts HP, defense, and spirit by 50%. Thunderfall. Previously, deal lightning damage and reduce lightning resistance for all enemies. Now, one use every 2 turns. Deal lightning damage and reduce lightning resistance for all enemies. And fill own LB gauge. Can only be used by these units. Okay. So, yay! They're usable again. Alright. Ability Awakening update. Ability Awakening update. We have Graceful Champion Fang, Daughter of Destiny Vanille, and Never Ending Hope. Okay. So, Daughter of Destiny Vanille. Daughter of Destiny Vanille, she gets Quadcast. She gets Quadcast, and her break now goes from 80% to 85%. 100 arms. It boosts earth damage for LB abilities and magic by allies up to 15% now, and reduces the cooldown time for 100 arms. Volition to Atone. Volition to Atone now will remove effect. Removes effect. That is a weird way to say it. Of chance of enabling triple Gestalt for 1 turn when receiving a physical or magical attack. Enables Gestalt at the beginning of battle or when being revived. So, you just get this triple Gestalt. So you just get triple cast at the beginning of battle or when being revived. You don't have to wait for it to trigger. And it boosts equipment magic by 25% whenever you're TDH. And Nature Loving Gal boosts magic increase to 60% and changes the LB effects. Now this is for Daughter of Destiny Vanille. So Daughter of Destiny Vanille's new LB is magic damage 40%, 40 times with Ignore Spirit by 50, so that'd be an 80x multiplier really. And then an 85% break for 4 turns to all enemies, and a 130% Earth Imperil to the enemy. Okay. Graceful Champion Fang. Graceful Champion Fang boosts increase to damage for jump attacks to 150%, to 200%, and boost equipment attack when armed with 2 one-handed weapons. So she gets 50% true dual wield and equipment attack, and boosts damage limit for various chains when armed with 2 one-handed weapons. So the damage cap goes up on those. All right. Power Pulse. Power Pulse boosts damage for jump attacks by 150%, and then boosts attack by a flat 500. So she just gets better, a little bit better stats in there. All right. Okay. Broken Lassie returns, and then it's boost damage from jump attacks to 150%. So she becomes a pretty good jumper. She's still stuck at that 7-star, but she's still got her damage. She becomes one of the strongest 7-star jumpers. Boost increase damage of certain abilities, High Wind and High Wind Plus to 5. Wow, that is a high multiplier. That is nice. That is a 55x mod. Okay. Then we have Never Ending Hope. Never Ending Hope now can boost MP restoration to 60, and boosts damage reduction to 35%. 35%, we can do better than that, Never Ending Hope. And then boost attack, defense, magic, and spirit increase to 230%, and it's not 300. Boost resistance to reductions to attack and magic to all allies by 100%. So, okay. Attack and magic reduction, prevention, and reduces cooldown time to 1 use every 5 turns, and reduces MP consumed. Oh, it only costs 99 now. Good grief. Reduces cooldown time to every 4 turns, and boosts damage to a 25x multiplier, to a 35x multiplier, and now it only costs 99x, or 99 MP. Sacred Guardian. Sacred Guardian now boosts magic by 90%. Boosts magic by 20%. Boosts increase to parameters when setting passive Alexander buff for Hope, and unit can equip. Unit is provided dual wield, and fills LB gauge by a flat 5 every turn, so you get 5 LB crystals every turn. Future Hero. Future Hero boosts increase of damage of certain abilities of Earthquake, Purification, and Retributive Blasts up to a 15x multiplier now, and boosts equipment magic by 150% whenever it's true dual wield, so actually can do damage. Neverending Hope can actually do damage now, not a whole lot, but can actually be capable of it. And then the change of the LB effects is 110% imperil for 1 turn to all enemies, for all elements. So it's 110% all elements imperil. And then it is fire, ice, lightning, wind, water, earth, light, and dark magic damage by a 56x multiplier, sorry, and recover 400 MP to caster. Then you get your latent abilities, boost of magic by 250% and reduce spirit by 74%, and deal 25x partial unmitigated earth damage to all enemies. And then turning ruin into salvation 2. Boosts HP by 20%, spirit by, so some flat stats, no more silence, and boost damage of certain abilities, which would be Purification Earthquake by an additional 26x multiplier, and Retributive Blast by a 13x multiplier, and Resort by a 5x multiplier. So Neverending Hope actually becomes usable. Okay. Whew. Alright. Then we've got special shops and bundles. Special shops and bundles. So what this is they're giving us a bundle where we can get the Neovision fragments for units that start out as a 5-star base, and we're getting select tickets for units that start out as a 5-star base. So if you want to buy the bundles, you can get your Neovision Awaken units. Basically, like you can just buy them. And that includes Infernal Fire Rain, Kunshiri, Eurisha, Monk Sabin, King Edgar, Sacred Shield Charlotte, Lauren, and Archmage Kefka for the unit and the shard. If those units pique your interest. We've got the Fountain of Lapis coming back at you. I don't need to go into that one. You guys know what the Fountain of Lapis is. One of the best deals in the game. Dark Vision Ticket Summon and the Dark Vision Login bonus. I'm going to package these two together. So every day you log in, you're going to get the Dark Vision Login bonus tickets. And also you're going to get the Dark Vision tickets by doing Dark Visions. Now, what are they? They are tickets, just like you can use on a regular banner, but that you can only use them on this banner. And they have a 16% rate for 5-star units and a 3% rate for Neovisions. I hate whenever they do this news for ants. And the Neovision units you can get are Shoreline Fiend and Daisy, Last Will and Reagan, Soul Neovision, Lock Neovision, and the 5-stars that you can get are these wonderful folk. Okay? And you can get these from daily login rewards and also by doing Dark Visions. Alright. Then we've got Miscellaneous March login bonus. Yay! We get Lapis and some garbage tickets. Alright. Savior of Souls, Savior's Descent login bonus. So we've got Savior of Souls Lightning Fragments, Radiant Lightning Fragments, Savior of Souls Lightning Fragments, Regular Lightning Fragments, and Savior of Souls Lightning Fragments with a Ascension Pearl, but no Transcension Pearl. Okay. Then we've got the Exchange Shop. Pull on the banner. You can go to the Exchange Shop. Boom, done. Okay. Then we've got the maintenance notice. Boom. Done. It's going to be a long maintenance this time, guys. It's going to be a real long maintenance. 20 until 5. That's like a 9-hour maintenance. That's a big one. But they are completely changing how shields work. So that is really interesting. So I'm sorry it went on a little long this time, guys, but they're giving us Savior of Souls Lightning, Neovision Awakening for Radiant Lightning, Neovision Awakening for Regular Lightning, Neovision Awakening for Untamed Wolf Edel, Lumia as a free unit, and then they're giving us upgrades for Neverending Hope, Graceful Champion Fang, and Daughter of Destiny Vanille, along with a King Mog farm, Dark Visions, and many other things. So this week is insane for the amount of content they're giving us. So I, for one, am looking forward to this week. I hope you guys are too. I'll see you next time. Much love. Peace.